Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Laser, your favorite daily uploader. Yet again with some more Hypixel drama like the good old days, a classic Hypixel beef. Anyways, the majority of you are probably sick of hearing about the Hannahxxrose situation, but I thought, you know what, as the premier idiot commentary YouTuber on the platform, I decided it was my responsibility to give my 2 cents and further beat the dead horse that is this topic. If you aren't familiar with the situation, I greatly recommend you watch Viper's video, but I'm gonna go over it very quickly. One day on stream, Hannah decided to do some classic reaction content watching Viper's video because it was blowing up at the time. After she finished watching 2 of Viper's latest videos, she decided to go back through Viper's catalog and watch a video in which he tier list ranked tubers' audiences.
I'm sorry, F tier.
Yeah, dear F.
I'm going F tier.
I don't really know much.
Why am I F?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Roasted.
move her below Wally Bear, I'm not gonna lie.
What?
No, if you
She PvPs by mashing both mouse buttons at the same time.
Content.
What?
It's better content.
I don't like this guy anymore.
Listen, I'm gonna be real. You're just like so blindsided to like the big picture. God bridging and like a bunch of montages. They don't want like 2,000 star montage. They don't want all that shit. You're boring. And there's a reason I have 2.9 million followers on TikTok and you don't.
So as you can see, Hannahxxrose had a very calm and collected response. Who am I kidding? Obviously, she was pretty upset by the statement, ended up kind of trying to fight back and flex on Viper a little bit. Because of this clip, Viper ended up receiving a lot of hate from Hannahxxrose hardcore supporters. Caused Viper to make his response video, which then got some hate sent towards Hannahxxrose as well. In general, the community is just very angry, but like, when are they not? Of course, Twitter is having a field day, but I think no one is really looking at the greater context of this situation and just how overall dumb it is. Now, something that the Minecraft community often forgets about is this thing called context, okay? Now, Hannahxxrose watched Viper's content for about 40 minutes in a 4-hour live stream. We here at Laser Penguin Studios like to do this thing called research, something that, you know, a lot of people on Twitter don't seem to understand or know about. So we watched the entire 40 minutes of Hannah reacting to Viper's content. The time that she lashes out at Viper is probably like 1-2 minutes max in the entire time. Okay, in a 4-hour live stream, that time is minuscule, right? The thing you also have to understand is that she was pretty supportive of Viper up until she got to that part where he did the tier list. She's like, oh yeah, this video's good, stuff like that. She was fairly supportive, right? So ordinarily, I would feel like, yeah, this doesn't really warrant that type of reaction that has, you know, been drummed up by the community. It's this one small clip within the greater context of the stream, right? But the thing you also have to understand is the context of who Hannah is and her audience in relation to Viper. Hannah has a massive audience on Twitch and YouTube, which is why certain members of Hannah's community were able to use that clip to kind of weaponize the rest of the fan base to attacking Viper. And Viper isn't a full-time YouTuber, he just does it for fun. He's a great guy and a great member of the community. Also, editor's note, I'm very biased, I really like Viper, but Viper doesn't nearly have the same audience size as Hannah. I think in general that the greater Minecraft community got really up in arms about this for no reason. Nobody would have cared if someone smaller or someone the same as Viper's size in the community said this about him, you know? He'll probably just move on with his day. Like, literally no one would have cared, but because it's Hannah and because of the context of her audience being so much larger and her having a large influence within the Bed Wars community, ended up putting Viper's reputation on the line. Now, I don't 100% blame Hannah for this situation. Of course, she has some major fault in it, right? She was the one that said those things, but it's fairly reasonable to feel some type of way when the guy who you were just praising a second ago for making cool content says that your audience is F tier. But at the end of the day, it's F tier in Minecraft skill, and she really misinterpreted the whole point of the video. She took it really personally as like a personal attack that Viper was saying that she was F tier like as a person, but she has such a large audience and the type of content that she makes doesn't really attract the hardcore PvP community. So one, she really misunderstood the point of the tier list, but also two, she got irrationally angry. Like, I understand there are things, you know, that people might say or do that can upset you. I completely understand there. I've been there many times. There's many a comment on YouTube that have gotten my blood boiling. But the reason I don't stream is because I don't want my initial reaction to that to be public, because when I talk, I want to think about what I'm saying and be very well structured in my thoughts. And as a full-time and professional streamer, it's part of your job to be careful with what you say on stream and do your best to not fall to these knee-jerk reactions. If this came from someone who's new to streaming, I would give them some more slack. But Hannah, as a professional full-time streamer, she should know better, okay? But we also need to give her the benefit of the doubt. I genuinely don't think she meant ill will by it. I think it was just a reactionary moment of anger, if anything. But as she later admitted, it was a mistake. I would think that someone who's been doing this stuff as long as Hannah has would have been a little more calm and collected on stream and not get their ego hurt as easily, but also handle the situation after much better. Her reactions on her private Twitter and in Viper's comment section, which she very quickly deleted, but not in enough time for the Viper community to screenshot it, frankly quite unprofessional and in my opinion disrespectful to the potential effects that she could have had on Viper. She was the one flexing her TikTok followers and the size of her community, so she should understand the possible effects that she could have on it. However, in the end, I'm glad that she was able to admit her mistakes, but I would have preferred a public apology to Viper or something along those lines. But honestly, I don't think Hannah is the root of the problem. I think it's the community's overreaction to any little thing that happens. Of course, Hannah is not perfect in this situation. She definitely messed up. I'm not going to deny that. But I think the general Bed Wars community, Hannah's and the rest of the Bed Wars community really overreacted to this. It's one tiny clip in a grand stream, okay? Sometimes I feel like certain members of the community are, just trying to find any excuse to hate someone. When at the end of the day, who cares? The only reason I care about this is because Viper's reputation was on the line, and as a fellow member of, the kind of underground Hypixel Bed Wars community, I don't want to see his reputation tainted for no reason. Outside of that, this is between Viper and Hannah. Something that certain members of the Hypixel community need to understand is that people can criticize your favorite content creator or be critical of something that someone did, but that doesn't mean they're attacking them, that doesn't mean they hate them, and that doesn't mean that you need to go and spread hate yourself. Because at the end of the day, the people spreading hate really have nothing better to do. They're just sitting on Discord actively harassing a YouTuber for being mildly critical of another YouTuber's audience. And this is all surrounding Minecraft. I guarantee that the majority of you lovely people watching have many, many, many better things to do. But these people, they just don't. I think if people in general stop looking at whatever a YouTuber says as gospel and, standing them as hard as they do, and taking a step back and realizing like, hey, this doesn't really matter, that people won't care. And that's ironic coming from me, who's like basically built my whole career on drama, right? But honestly, after all these years of making Hypixel content, surrounding drama in the community, I've seen so many petty dramas that have just been, further boosted by audiences that in reality could have been dealt with, offline and would have been perfectly fine. Anyways, that's about my 2 cents on the situation. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. I'm fresh out of topics, so if you want to hit me up in the comment section with some ideas, I would be very happy with that. And I'll see you gamers in the next video. Peace!